What's up, guys? Brandon here, coming to you with another small account challenge update. Let's pull the old Tastyworks screen over. Sitting up about $140 and some change. So another green day. Add that to the calendar. Not a bad day. Pretty much everything was green today. Except for Tesla, I got a really bad limit fill, even though I used the day trade to get out of it, and totally got a bet. I left it open. I'll show you what I did wrong in a second. So let's go down the track here. We'll start with MU. MU was an earnings gap down. We were looking for the bounce to retrace to short. I said it's probably going to squeeze up to at least 33. That was what I was watching for. So I got in on this last pop right here, just because it had just two rejection wicks stacked up next to each other. It looked really good on the volume side. Let's break it up just a tad bit here. Yeah, so yeah, right here on the volume side, right when the seller volume started beating out buyer volume down here, that's when I took the position. Took a pretty heavy position, 15 puts just for 33, just got in the money and scalped it. I didn't really trust it to continue down because I had a lot of consolidation off the squeeze and support right here. So I got out, actually bottom ticket pretty much on the out. I just wanted to scalp, use the day trade on it. Was hoping for at least a little bit more panic like to the 50, but just the way the volume started stacking up right here, when that one green candle came up, and I'm like, I could create a squeeze press, and it totally did. So we ended up making 60 bucks on the MU scalp, so not a bad day there. The Nvidia was a short we locked in from yesterday, but I just closed it out as a spread for a $24 winner on that first dump today. Tesla zeroed out. I'll explain what I did wrong here in Tesla. So Tesla, the very scary spready stock. And yeah, there's tons of downside potential to this today. I just want to risk it. It wasn't feeling it, but that's okay. Unfortunately, I got the fill on this pop back here to the short side. Got some 337.50 puts, and then it popped up here, had a big rejection all the way down here, and I was still $10 in red because of the fill I got, and I'll show you why. And then it finally dumped back here, dumped under the 200, and the first time it cracked and rejected up to 200, I just covered. I was 70 bucks up, or like 50 bucks up, and it did not cover me into any profit. So when I closed Tesla, I pretty much zero on it, so I kind of wasted a trade on that, which was no fun, but that's all right. 330. If I were to look at closing this and on Tastyworks, let's get this big enough to where you can see it, make sure I'm not in the way. So when you're looking at this, the lock right here, that locks your limit price and your mid price. If you leave the lock open and you just let it fill in a mid price, it'll fill you somewhere in between the spread, right? So the 640 to 665 spread on 337.50, you'd get filled somewhere in between there. I didn't lock this and set a hard limit for my out. I left it open at a mid price. So that profit I was seeing on there and then sold off into had a bad limit fill. So it took all the profit back, unfortunately, and a little pop and just had a bad fill, which I'm not really too worried about. We didn't lose any money today. So that's the big that's the big one, right? So I was looking for a cover to come back down. When I purchased these, I could have sold these at 545. It probably might have been tried to get filled right now, actually, it looks like. So I don't know if it's just something to worry about the spread, just something to keep in mind. If you're not locking in a limit order, it could fill anywhere in that mid price, right? So gave back a little profit on that, not a big deal. The last position to go over here is Facebook, which is we're locked in at about 57 bucks right here. Facebook was a pop to short trade idea that I covered this morning. My first target was yesterday's close, and it hit it and it rejected. But with the SPY that looks so strong this morning on that huge squeeze up, I just didn't trust getting in right away. I just wanted to let it work out. So it came down, held an opening dash price, and flew up. I took it somewhere around here in the 144.20s. This pop up here must have been it had a heavy resistance here. I said, well, I'll risk the 200 EMA on the 4 hour. So if we take a peek over here on the 4 hour, here's the 200 EMA up top on the candle. So pushed yesterday's close, hit the resistance, and it was up to like 144, like 16, 17 right here. And I'm like, well, I'll just I'll take a put here just in case it rejects early, and if not, it'll pop and hit the 200 EM, hopefully reject. So I was red for like 30, 40, 50 bucks on it or whatever, and we just waited for it to work out. Nice and patient. Came all the way back down. I put a limit order out to purchase the puts behind it. So if we go to Facebook in the table, you can see my two positions where I purchased the 144 puts, and then you can see I sold the 143s. Look at the activity feed on the fills. There are both 220. So I had purchased the puts at 220 and I sold the puts at 220. So thus locking in that spread. It's pretty much a free spread. You always want to sell the spread higher than the put purchase you purchased. So, I mean, right now I'd be way greener if I would have just let this go and go and go and go. But I'm all about locking in profits on the tiny account challenge here. So we didn't use a day trade on that one, but we did lock in some money, and it will continue to actually go up as these two kind of cancel each other out. So later on tomorrow, depending on where the squeeze is or something happens with the Fed release later today. If this goes up, we could buy that put back that we sold, just the one, and then if it has another big rejection, and for the next fall, then we can just let the other put run. Essentially, just getting insurance, right? So those are all the trades today. End of the day up a little over 140. If everything continues to drop, my spread on Facebook will continue to be decent here. So it looks like we're closing under the 100-day now on the 4-hour. So Facebook. That popped ashore was the main watch. Worked out perfectly. Unfortunately, it was a tad early, and I covered a tad early, but that's all right. We're locking in profits, right? So that's all I got for you guys today. I'll be back in chat late today, obviously, for the Fed talks. I want to see what's going on with the release on tax hikes. And if not, we will see you guys in the morning.